Hello students, my name is Navdeep Singh and today we are going to discuss about present perfect tense. In the previous two videos we have already discussed about present indefinite tense, or you can say simple present tense, and in second video we have discussed about present progressive tense, or you can say present continuous tense, and in this video we are going to discuss about present perfect tense. Right, so what do you mean by perfect tense? Perfect means completed, the work which is completed in the recent times, or maybe the impact of that work is continue at the time of when the words are or sentence has been said. Completed, right? The work is completed. The present perfect tense describe an action that began in the past despite being a present. For example, John has taken Sarah's advice and they have fixed the fence. Often the action being described is still continuing into the present. Example, John continues to take Sarah's advice. Right? When we say John has taken Sarah's advice, it means he has taken Sarah's advice in the past as well, and he is still taking Sarah's advice. But when we say that John took Sarah's advice, means John took Sarah's advice in the past, but he is not taking advice that right now at this moment. So this is the basic difference between the present perfect tense and the simple past tense that you have to understand. Right? Next, infograph for the present perfect tense is given here. Here is an infograph explaining the present perfect tense. So in present perfect tense you have to use has or have as your helping verbs. So these are going to help you for making these sentences, as you can clearly see in the examples that John has started. So with John we have used has, and with they we have used have, right? So that we have to understand that where we need to use has or have, right? So first we will see that with I you will use have, with we you will also use have, with they you will use have, and with all the plural nouns, right? With all the plural nouns like children, farmers, teachers, you will use have. And with he, she, it, and all the singular nouns, you are going to it, and all the singular nouns like Mohan, Ram, Sita, Gita, with these you are going to use has. So this is the basic difference here, right? So let's move further. That more examples of the present perfect tense are given here. Here are some more examples of the present perfect tense. The board has decided to uphold the appeal. This sentence carries the connotation that the board continues to uphold the appeal, right? The board has taken the decision to uphold the appeal in the past, but the board is still upholding the appeal, right? That means the impact of that work is still continue in the present, right? And then I have taken the wrong path, connotation is that I am still on the wrong path. I am still on the wrong path. I have taken this uh, path in past, but still I am facing the same trouble, right? So this is the difference. If you talk about simple past tense, that you will say I took the wrong path, means you are talking about your past only, but at this moment you are somewhere else. You are sitting at your home, you are doing some other work, okay, and you just make sentence regarding your past only, so that the past reference you did. But here when you say that I have taken the wrong path, here you can say that I took the wrong path in the past, but still I am on that path. So that is going to tell us. Then is comparing the present perfect tense and the simple past tense. That is very important here to compare present perfect with the simple past, because we sometimes get confused that these two tenses are talking about the past only. So if they are talking about past only, so why we need these two tenses? We can take the help of one tense only. So that was the difference I told you earlier in the previous slides, that the impact of the work is still continue in present perfect tense, but in the simple past the impact of the work is not continue to the present. So that is the main thing. Okay, here are some more examples are given. If we will pay attention over here, we will try to know that what is the basic difference. So very simple examples are given here. Right, you can see here Janet has run 2 miles and Janet ran 2 miles. So there is big difference in this. Right, in this the present, you can say this is the present perfect tense. In this example Janet is still running. Right, Janice has run 2 miles. She had run 2 miles already, but she has not stopped her activity. She is still continuing that work. But if you talk about the second sentence, Janet ran 2 miles. This is the simple past tense. In this example, Janet has stopped running when the words were said. Means she has completed the work, so she is not running no more. She is not running now. So that's why the work is stopped. So Janet has stopped running when the words or the sentence has been said. So this is the basic difference here. And let's move to the next slide. So here is another example which is given here. David has worked alongside two of the world's finest scientists in the field of entomology. This is the present perfect tense. In this example, David might have finished working with those scientists, but the sentence carries the connotation that he is still working as an entomologist. Right, so David has worked alongside two of the world's finest scientists in the field of entomology. So he started working with the some of the scientists, but now the work is done, that project is over, but he had not left his field. He is still working in the field of entomology. Right, but in the second sentence, if you see, David worked alongside two of the world's finest scientists in the field of entomology. This is the simple past tense, and this example carries the connotation that David no longer works as an entomologist. He has changed his field, or whatever the reason is there. Right, he is not working as an entomologist right now. So this is total about past. Right, this sentence is total about past when we talk about verb second form, that is worked. Okay, and here you have has worked. So means the action is, the impact of that action is still there. He is still an entomologist. He is working as an entomologist, but in the second he worked as an entomologist, but at this time when we have made this sentence or we have said these words, at this moment he is not an entomologist. So let's move further to the next slide. Forming the present perfect tense. The present perfect tense is formed. Okay, so it's very easy, very easy, that how to make. First you have to take subject, then I told you you have to take has and have, and third form of the verb, and object, and full stop. Right, so this is the total formation of making any sentence through present perfect. So you have to take the help of these helping verbs, has or have, that is very necessary after subject. Then there is third form. Right, you can see here past participle is written. Past participle means third form of the verb. Right, in our previous tense, in present progressive tense or continuous tense, what we did, we used present participle there. Present participle means verb first form ing, but this is the past participle, means the work has started in the past, so that's why we have to use past participle, and past participle is third form of the verb. Right, let's move further. Forming the past participle regular verbs. So if it is a regular verb, the past participle is the same as the simple past tense. In other words, it is formed like this. Okay, add ed to most verbs. So first we have to understand what is the regular verb. What is the regular verb? Regular verb means which are not going to change its root form or the basic form in all the third forms. Okay, you, as you know, all the verbs are having three forms, like first form, second form, and third form. So like if we take the example of this word jump, so the first form of jump is jump itself, then second form is jumped, and third form is also jumped. So here you can see this is the root, this is the root word jump, and root word is same in all the three forms, whether we talk about first form, or we talk about second form, or we talk about third form. So the root word is same, there is no change in the root word. Right, so that is most important thing here. Okay, root word is same, paint, in the paint root word is same, paint, painted, painted. So where root word is continue in all the three forms the verb, that is called regular verbs. Okay, I hope you understand about the regular verb. Let's move further. If a verb of one syllable ends consonant, vowel, consonant, double the final consonant and add ed. So this is very very important to understand. Like here you can see the word chat. Okay, I write here chat, C H A T. So now we have to concentrate over last three letters of this word. So last three letters are H, A and T. Okay, and now if you focus, so what is there? H is consonant sound, A is vowel sound and T is again consonant sound. So this becomes the system of CVC. Right, this become system of CVC. And here when you have this system consonant, vowel, consonant, right, so what you need to do, you have to double the last word, double T, and then you have to write ed. Okay, then you have to write ed over there. And same happened with this also, with stopped. Right, so last three letters of stop is top, T is consonant, O is vowel and P is again consonant. So last is, you can say, consonant. So what you need to do, you have to make it double P and ed. It will become stopped. Right, in this way you can do this. Next is, if the final consonant is W, X or Y, don't double it. Right, if you find system is there, system is same, there is no difference in the system. If you see that if we write SEW, system is same. S is what? S is consonant, E is vowel, W is again consonant, or it is also called semi vowel. Okay, that is a separate issue, we will discuss in in any other video. So now we take it as we see, same pattern is there. But when you find W of, okay, at the last letter W, you are not going to double it, right? So you just add ed with it. Same will happen with the played, it is end. So if you see Y, you are not going to change it. And fix access there, okay, you are not going to change it. So that is important thing here. Okay, now you see, if the last label of a longer verb is stressed and ends consonant, vowel, consonant, double the last consonant and ed. Incur, if the last label of a longer verb is stressed. So you can see incur, there is incur is there, and there is last label is stressed, and it also carry, if you take last three letters of this incur, so it also carries this system consonant, vowel, consonant. So again what you need to do, you have to double the last, you have to double this last letter, okay, double R, then you will add ed, so it will become incurred. Right, so this is the thing that you have to keep in mind. Okay, now in the first syllable of a longer verb is stressed and the verb ends consonant, vowel, consonant, just add ed. If the first syllable of a longer, here you can say first syllable is stressed, open, enter, so there is stress on the first syllable, so you are not going to double the last letter, right? You are not going to do. What is the open is written here, OPEN. If we take last three letters, right, so P is again consonant, E is again vowel, N is again consonant. So this thing is there, but you are not going to double the last letter, you are not going to double it, because there is stress on the first syllable, open, enter, swallow, so there is stress on the first syllable, right? That's why we are not going to double it. Then if the verb ends E just add D. It's very simple, because as you know, in Thrive, E is already given, so there is no need to put extra E with it and then D is there. You cannot write THRIVEED because E is already given, so it's very simple that you just have to add D with it. With the ghazal also, E is already given, just to have to add D with it, right? Then if the verb ends consonant plus Y, change the Y to Y and add ed. So it's very simple. Okay, what you need to do, if suppose cry is written, so you have to delete this Y, and in place of Y you have to add I, and after that ed, so it will become cried. Let's move further. Now forming the past participle. Okay, irregular verbs. So we discussed earlier that what are the regular verbs. Regular verbs are those where root verb is not going to change in all the three forms of the verb, but here the root form will change in second form as well as in third form. They all three will be different from one another, as you can see here, right? Arise and arisen has written, right? So arise is first form, arisen is third form, arose is the second form here, arose is second form. Okay, arisen is third form and arise is first form. So you can see arise, arose, arisen. So okay, there is root verb is not repeated in all three. They are totally different from one another, so that's why we are going to say irregular verbs. These are irregular because root verb is not regular in all three verbs. Okay, catch, caught, caught, choose, chose, chosen, know, knew, known. So again, all the three root all the verbs are totally different, so that's why. So how to learn it? Just you have to learn them, right? There is no rule regarding this, so just you have to learn these irregular verbs. These irregular verbs are given in any grammar or various grammar books. You can easily find it. Next is the negative version, how to make negative sentence through this present perfect tense. It's very simple, as in the previous two videos we have already discussed that not is used in negative forms and not is always used after the helping verbs, right? So you have to use helping verb first, then you have to use not after that. So in simple present tense we used do and does, and after that we used not, do not, does not. And in present progressive tense we used is are as helping verb, and after that we used not, is not, am not, are not. And here for this present perfect tense we are going to use not after has or have. So what is the formation? That is very easy. First you have to take subject, then you have to take has have, okay, then not, and third form of the verb past participle you can say, and object is there. So this is the formation of negative version of present perfect tense. Subject plus has have, as you can see example is already given here. Okay, example is already given here. The board has not decided to uphold the appeal. I have not taken the wrong path, right? So after has or have you this not, right? You can see very easily. Remember that has not is sometimes written as in the contraction form also, hasn't, haven't, right? You can write like this also, there is no issue. So this is the negative version of this sentence, and now we have to move to the question version, right? And as I told you earlier, so for making your question, what you need to do, you have to bring your helping verbs before the subject. If you bring those your helping verbs before the subject, that will become okay sentence with the question, right? So if you take has or have, if you take has or have before subject, after that you have to write subject, right? And if not you want to include there, you can do that also, but not is optional. This is not necessary that it will come in all the sentences. Then there is third form, then there is object and question mark. So I told you earlier that if your question is starting with the helping verb, so answer will be always in yes or no, right? Have you eaten food? So you will answer in yes or no. Yes if you have eaten, if you have not eaten you will say no. So have you done your work? You will say yes if you have done. If you have not done, you will say no, I have not done my work, right? So this is the thing. And if we talk about questions, let me clear the clutter. Okay, if you talk about a question which is starting with the WH word, your question may start with WH word, right? WH word plus has, have, plus subject. Not is optional. If you want to use, you can use, otherwise you can leave, no problem. Then object and question mark, sorry, right? So the questions which are going to start with, we are going to start with WH words. Okay, the answer will always be in reason. Answer will always be in reason. That is very important. And why have you not completed your work? I have not completed my work because I went to the market, right? Why haven't you gone there? I haven't gone there because there is lockdown. So you can give any reason regarding this. So reason you have to give when your question is starting with the WH word. And if your question is starting with the helping verb has or have, just you have to answer in yes or no. That is very important, right? So this is in past participle written here. Past participle, don't get confused with this word. Okay, these words, past participle means third form of the verb, right? Okay, so next is there, you can use the following word order for the question word question that we have done already in the previous slide. This is talking about the question which are starting with WH words. So you can see the example which are given here. Why has the board decided to uphold the appeal, and how have I taken the wrong path? How have taken the wrong path, right? So you have to give the reason here. How have I taken the wrong path? I have taken the wrong path because I could not make out where to go. So this was all about the present perfect tense. I hope you understand. If you don't understand, just throw your queries in my inbox and we will discuss there. Okay, till then, be careful and stay happy. Okay, stay at home. Thank you very much. So nice of you.